feature on the show, City of Jackson Spotlight. Each month we will meet a member of the team at the City of Jackson. And kicking off the series is the Director of Public Works, Mike Osborn. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
Great to have you here. Our first ever City of Jackson Spotlight guest. And DPW, what an appropriate time really, because, well, it's winter. You guys are busy. In the winter, your summer is very busy. You never stop. What all is part of the public works in your department?
Now, I would say that different cities are set up differently, but here in the City of Jackson, I oversee water, wastewater, utility billing, DPW fiscal services, and let's see, what did I miss? Forestry, so and DPW. So we take care of a lot of stuff, everything from streets to infrastructure, treating sewage, treating potable drinking water. So it's a lot.
Well, water certainly is. Anyone in the state of Michigan is well aware of the issues certain communities have been having with water. How is our water here in Jackson?
Well, I drink it every day, and I've been studying water treatment for 30 years.
30 years in March. 30 years for Mike in the field of water.
So I mean, yeah, I spent a lot of years working in our water treatment plant, and I drink that water every day. We have aquifers. We pull out of an aquifer. The water comes from about 120 to 200 feet down. It's good water.
I drink it every day too. And the city's been awarded for their water quality.
Yeah, we were the finalists. We made it to the finals not last year, but the year before. And I was there at the American Water Works Association conference. Mm-hmm. And we made it to the finals for the best tasting water in Michigan. No kidding.
And oddly, water's not supposed to have a taste, is it?
Well, I guess I wasn't one of the judges, but I think it depends on where you grow up, what you're used to. But I think for most people in the Midwest, they're going to say that groundwater tastes better, has some more minerals in it. Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't want to be a judge because they're all, the finalists were pretty good, but I think surface water that's treated from maybe Lake Huron or Lake Michigan, I think tastes a little different.
Can you tell?
I think I'm going to go on a limb and say I probably could tell, but I've been doing this a long time.
So you've been with the City of Jackson for how many years?
Well, a total of probably 17 years.
Because you went away.
Yeah, I worked for the City of Jackson at the water treatment plant from 1996 to 2008. Okay. And I got my licenses, I got my education. I thought, took a look around, said, these guys are gonna be here a while. So, so then I left and went to the City of Adrian for a job in management. So there at the City of Adrian, I was in charge I was second in command at their water plant. I was in charge of maintenance and safety. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward to 2018, 10 years later, the water plant supervisor job came open in Jackson, and so I went for it. They hired, they interviewed me and hired me.
Awesome. So we have a water treatment plant, we have a wastewater treatment plant, we have the DPW headquarters and garage, a lot of physical plants for the department.
Oh, absolutely, and it's a lot to maintain those facilities. Water plant or a wastewater plant, if you've ever toured any of our facilities, the first thing people say, especially at the wastewater plant, is like, wow, I didn't realize there was this much here, this much equipment. And it is a lot. And then when you have to do maintenance on an old facility like that, it is quite costly.
And that's, I think, something that the city's been dealing with over the last handful of years.
Oh, yeah. And I was just reading an article the other day on infrastructures in the United States. So a lot of the infrastructures are aging and need to be replaced, and there's billions of dollars that need to be spent. Now our facilities are no different. Our wastewater plant is very old. Parts of it were built at different times, but our water treatment plant was built in 1975.
And for that reason, are lucky to be able to have some ARPA funds to fund some of those improvements with our infrastructure.
Well, yeah, you see the graphic there, like, these are ARPA funds. These are the funds you don't have to pay back. As you can see, we're doing a bunch of projects at the wastewater plant. They've already started. The SCADA software upgrades, I mean, people see SCADA, say, what's that? Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. So that is, how you control the entire plant via a computer and a PLC. And our wastewater plant was in the Stone Ages. So we're bringing them up to, we use the analogy, how would you like to be on the first mission to, we were using like the first mission to the moon technology today.
Wow.
At the wastewater plant. So we're bringing that up to date, and then we have some stuff on the water side too, and that's all money we do not have to pay back. That's all grants.
Now, you had a little bit of time professionally in Colorado, where water's a different resource in the West.
Absolutely.
What's going on right now? Because there are people buying up water rights in Colorado. They're predicting that that's going to be such a scarce commodity that there's going to be big value in just water.
Well, when I was 18 years old, I graduated from Napoleon, so I'm from this area. When I was 18 years old, I moved out to Colorado, and just by pure happenstance, I kind of fumbled into a job in water. And I remember being young and studying water treatment, and I was at a lecture at Colorado University where they had this huge lecture hall, and this guy, he unrolled this piece of paper and it rolled down the hall, or down the center aisle, probably 50 feet down and he says, these are the amount of people that have water rights on the Colorado River alone.
Wow.
So, I mean, here we kind of take it for granted. You can drill a well, you can get water. Out there, about this time of year, they're up in the mountains measuring snowpack.
Yeah, it's
so we do kind of take it for granted.
Yeah. We've got another graph I want to take a look at. This is some more funding that is from the state for a couple of the things that you've got. What are the drinking water SRF projects and clean water SRF projects?
Okay, so SRF is a state revolving fund, and the distinction's important because when you're talking about drinking water, that's a DPW SRF. That's obviously the water you drink. And on that side, you can see that it was a total of 16.5 million, but 12 million of that is principal forgiveness. They're grant funds. We only have to pay back 4 million of that. So of course we jumped at that because that's a total of 16.5 million. Now that's a lot. That's lead service line replacement, old main replacement. Worked at the water treatment plant, the elevated tanks on West Ave and Roberts. So, and then lead service line replacement, and that's the portion we have to pay back. There was a total of 8 million, and bipartisan infrastructure law that we had to pay back, so we had to pay back 4 million. And of course, that's a deal. We're going to jump at it.
Yeah, and we've got some time too. The state mandated that we have to have those replaced by, I think, 2040.
Yeah. You have like I'm trying to remember, like 25 years. You have to replace like 5% a year. We're trying to get an extension. When we started the lead service line program, we had approximately 12,000 lead service lines that we need to replace in Jackson. So of course that is a huge priority for us. And I would like to say, when we work on all these grants and these, it's a lot of work.
And the work's being done right now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Some of these projects have already started. I would just like to thank my staff. Like, there's an unknown lady by the name of Chandra Willinger, and she's our physical supervisor, and she works in the background diligently all the time on these projects, and I have Assistant Director Tim Pickett, I have Nick Mangus out at the water plant, Trent Stockman out at the wastewater plant, and Randy Lieberger, who's our DPW foreman, and this is really a group effort because it takes a lot of work. And I get to stand here and tell you about it, But really it's about the team.
Yeah, it is a great team. I know some of the people you mentioned, and I've had a chance to tour your beautiful DPW headquarters and meet some of the folks. And yeah, thanks for really providing us the services that we really don't have to think about. One thing we haven't had to think about too much this winter is snow plowing.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. It's been a mild winter. The one thing I did want to bring up, they asked me if there was something I wanted to say. I would just like to remind people we still could get it. Obviously, we're in Michigan, right?
We will.
Yeah, we could still get a big snowstorm. So we're asking people if they would please, if there's a snowstorm, please try to get your cars off the street. And if you're removing snow, please don't push it out into the road. Now, I've been out, I'm a hands-on kind of guy. I've been out with our snowplow drivers because I've never done it. Being in water, I wanted to see it, so I rode with them. And it's really hard for them to get into some of these tight spots. People leave their cars on the street. It makes it very difficult for them.
All right, think about that. Next time it snows, get the streets cleared faster and safer as well. Well, Mike, because you are the very first person featured on City of Jackson Staff Spotlight, the Jackson Canyon Fudge Factory and JTV have a special gift for you. Some treats. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for taking time to be with us today, and keep up the great work.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. City of Jackson Staff Spotlight, DPW Director Mike Osborn.